I'm a bit late to the party for this one. Welcome aboard my Mexican Pie Recruit. Today I wanted to talk about, drama that's kind of already happened, I guess. But you know me, I want to bring awareness to all these different situations. It doesn't really matter how relevant they are at the moment. I just want to bring genuine awareness to these situations. Like, as you guys know, especially like with the recent stuff like the limping limber stuff going on, I try to get these videos out as fast as I can and stuff like that. But sometimes I miss a whole lot of things, such as this, the whole Mizkif situation. And there are probably going to be a lot of other videos that I make that are just like not about relevant people anymore. I'm probably going to make a video about I'm Alex, Shadman, people like those, people who we already kind of luckily got off the internet, but who is still like I feel like I need to somewhat bring awareness to all of these people, just because I know there's probably a lot of people who've done like deep dives and everything on these different types of people, but also I feel like just the internet needs to remind people such as these infamous people, like they need to basically be like, hey, we know what you did, like we need to hold you accountable for what you did, and I think that's something that has been great with this whole commentary thing, is just holding people accountable for their actions. And that's actually what I want to do with this whole Mizkif thing. I want to make sure that Mizkif is held responsible for his actions, because what was described, if you guys don't know about the whole situation that's going on, basically a streamer known as Mizkif, he was a very big streamer, part of like I think some sort of Twitch house or some shit like that, right? Which I don't know why every content creator needs to have a house with other creators. Like, it's just honestly stupid, right? But it's it's neither there nor here, so like it's whatever, right? But apparently there was a relationship between another Twitch streamer known as Emaru. I'm actually like a pretty big fan of Emaru. I watch her clips here and there, I mainly watch her short videos just because I don't really have time anymore to watch anyone else, especially doing this. But what had happened, allegedly, was that Emaru and Mizkif, they were having a bit of struggle with their relationship. And I speculate that it's because of Mizkif's egotism and like a lot of other things, mainly wrong with Mizkif. Like I know that a lot of people are just like, wait, you should wait until both sides of the story are like revealed. And the thing is, both sides of the story was revealed. He made a really crappy apology video. He basically, it was funny too, because at the beginning he was like, I'm not using GPT, guys, I swear. But like I guarantee you, like I don't use any type of AI. I try not to use AI. No anymore. Anyway, oh my god, I can't speak. Anyway, but Miss Kif handles this situation so poorly. Because like I said, in the beginning, he's all like, "Oh, it's not Jet GPT thing," but like I said, if you write it in Jet GPT, that's probably exactly what it'll give you. It'll give you some sort of script, right? And not only that, but it's obvious that he's just trying to save face. Like it's so obvious he's just trying to save face. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous, right? Because what he did, if true, is disgusting. It's disgusting because allegedly he forced himself onto Emaru. Like, you just don't do that. You don't do that as a man. If you do that to a woman, you are actually less of a man, in my actual opinion. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I get, being in a relationship with someone, sometimes you have a little time, it happens. We're all human. It's a natural part of human thing. But if someone is either A, intoxicated, B, just not wanting to do time with you, or C, they just don't feel like doing it at all, you gotta respect those boundaries. You got to not cross a line, And with Mizkif, from what I've heard, he did cross that line with Emaru. Because although they were trying to mend their relationship, although they were trying to mend this and that, Mizkif took kind of from, like, this is my personal opinion, right? A lot of people could be all like, oh, that's a dumb opinion. You're fucking stupid, Mexican pirate, for having this opinion. But this is my opinion. He took advantage of that situation. right? Because Emeru, you gotta remember, Emeru was in a very vulnerable state at that time because breakups are not easy. I'll say that, like, from not only from experience, but also just as a person. You know, breakups aren't easy. They break your heart. They kind of hurt you in a way, right? Like, actually hurt you. But from what Emery was saying, Mizkif already had this hurt. Mizkif already had all these problems going on. That's probably why he's speeding, you know? That's probably why he's speeding on the road, just because he's just like, you know, this is such an adrenaline rush knowing that I can possibly, you know, game end myself, you know? And if you're going to do that, cool. Go ahead. Do that all you want, Mizkif. But don't put anyone else's life at risk, you know, whether it be the person on the road, another person on the road, whether it be Emeru, you know, don't put other people's lives at risk. It's not okay. It really isn't. And I don't know, man. I obviously, you guys can already tell where my stance is. I'm personally siding with Emeru, you know, and I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, you know. I'm gonna make a follow-up video being like, okay, guys, looks like I was wrong, you know, looks like I stood corrected. But typically with situations like these, I hate it because I wish I was wrong. Most of the times, I wish I was wrong. I wish, like, you know, Mizkif wasn't the shitty. I fucking hate Mizkif, right? I've hated him since day one. Like, I don't like the motherfucker at all. But to find out he's, like, an abuser to Emeru, like, that's just disgusting to me. Like, that makes my hate for him even more valid, if anything, right? But then, like, of course, we had the whole Leaping Lemur incident. That's someone I genuinely looked up to, and, like, stuff like that, right? But now that he's come out as this weirdo creep, I'm just like, well, shit. I can trust no one but myself, guys. I can actually trust no one but myself. Now, but I personally think the whole Mizkif drama is just, like, bro should be behind bars. I don't know why he's not behind bars for essentially kind of assaulting a woman, you know? Like, that's just gross to me. That is disgusting. And if he is not at least behind bars, I feel like he shouldn't have a platform at all, you know? I'm not sure if Twitch or Kick or any of those other platforms gives him that platform, or even YouTube, but he needs to be banned. Off the bat, because the last person who had this shitty of a response, you know, he threatened to fucking...
I'm gonna bash your head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the up.
That's besides the point, you know. It's just frustrating, you know. It's frustrating seeing all these figures come out to be actual fucking, like, bad people, you know. I don't know, man. But I kind of want to hear your guys' whole opinion on the Mizkif situation. You know, like I said, I know I am late to the party, and you know this situation has been already, like, talked and done over with. You know, but again, I feel like as a content creator who has a platform where he can speak, I feel like I need to speak up against situations like these. You know, whether it be from a situation from a long time ago or not. You know, because we need that reminder that, hey, not everyone is perfect, and some people are worse than others, you know? Like, Mizkif, I'm Alex, Shadman, like, I hate to put the two women abusers in with the actual PDF file, right? But, like, they are basically in the same category because they're not able to own up to their mistakes, you know? They're not able to own their mistakes and move on. Instead, they want to drag out this entire thing like the other person is the antagonist in all of this, you know? And that's even what Leaping Lemur did. It's absolutely vile. It's like these people just try to save face to save their own career, and it's fucking disgusting. I think I already mentioned this in a video, but like I said, if I ever turn out to be some sort of fucking weirdo and, like, my audience starts losing respect for me, I would have gained even more respect for my audience. Because that means, like I said in that video, my audience has a good consciousness, a good heart, all of that, you know? And I try to have that, you know? I try to have that most of the time. And I always use my best lapse in judgment, you know? Unlike Logan Paul, of course. But sometimes you do make mistakes, sometimes they do happen, but they're tiny mistakes. They're mistakes like, oh, I've been smoking too much, I've been lazing around, I've been lying in bed, I've been doing this. Not assaulting your girlfriend. That shit is like, it makes me mad. Any man who lays his hand on a woman, it just genuinely makes me mad, because it's like, how are you so that you're going to hit your girlfriend, you know? You might as well just try to hit an actual, like, fucking man at that point and see what fucking happens, you know? Like, I'm sorry. It genuinely makes me mad. And I know Mizkif allegedly didn't put any hands on her, but first of all, I kind of find that hard to believe. Like, I'm not gonna slander him and be like, oh yeah, he 100% hit fucking Emaru or anything like that, you know. But what I am going to say is, it's believable. You know, it's believable that he would abuse. I mean, you've seen the holes in his walls in his like other house, right? He is a violent person. He is aggressive person, and the fact that it's like, I'm glad Emaru found herself out of that relationship. I really am, you know. Like, at the end of the day, I don't do this shit just to stir the pot or anything. I do this shit to legitimately expose people, like expose these scumbags who are still trying to make a name for themselves, even though they did the most heinous shit possible. And again, most of these people, they're fucking egotists. They think they're better than everyone else, you know, and then they do all these fucked up things, and then they have that reminder, oh, I'm not better than anyone else, because then immediately they lose their fucking audience, you know. And I'm glad that Mizkif is losing his audience. If I'm being 1,000%, I'm glad he's losing his audience, and I'm hoping more people, you know, especially those who do side with Mizkif, come to realize that he's not the person you think he is. You know, he is an actual manipulator. He's an actual piece of shit, and I really hope he just gets deplatformed. But like I said, that's kind of my 2 cents on the whole situation. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe with notifications on to never miss a single upload. And until next time, y'all, adios.